Welcome back to the channel, lads and ladies, and welcome to, that's right, StalinsPimpCane, who will eventually be in the Centauro. But first, he's starting off in the Owl, as everyone seems to be doing these days. It's a great little vehicle, a lot of fun. I have yet to play mine. You can hear the toddler in the background. She's trucking around. She has just given me my first break from armchair duty, where I am the chair and she is the arms. She's been sitting on me all morning for like 4 hours. She hasn't left my side. You know, I go out for a night of table gaming with the guys just once, and suddenly she's so jealous. Good to know she cares. Anyway, SPC picking up his first kill, easily accomplished with the Owl's stabilized high velocity dart lobber. And what else can I say? This thing can bite hard. A very powerful vehicle at 8.0 in terms of firepower, again, because of its good stabilizer. Its mobility, fantastic. Its armor, non-existent. And its crew, cramped quite close together, easily able to be taken down by, well, whoever decides to spawn in an SPAA as their first spawn. Hey, I'm not here to judge. I'll just tell you what happened. So let's close those tabs. War Thunder replay system, everybody. And welcome SPC back into the battle in the Centauro. So, did you like my pronunciation? I like my pronunciation. Oh, is the video going to jump around? I really hope that... Oh, no, actually, I'm just getting a thumbnail. I'll just, I'll edit this part out, but I'll talk over it because I'm also lazy when it comes to editing my voiceover. So, and now we're back. That break was just so that I could grab a thumbnail for this beautiful video, which means that you already know that SPC was gonna spawn in the Centauro, as I mentioned. And from this point on, I'm just gonna call it the Centauro because I'm speaking American and I reserve the right to pronunciate things the way I want to. Yuck. So, for 8-wheel drive, the Centauro is an interesting vehicle. It's big, it's bulky, it's ginormous, it has a great gun. This one appears to be stabilized at this battle rating. It's hard for me to tell the difference between these Centi boys, and a single shot to the back of the dome takes down the SPAA that wiped out SPC at the beginning of the match. Not a bad start. The flag on the front of this vehicle, what is that flag? A black over white over red bars. I am not worldly enough to know where that comes from. My apologies. But it does look awesome. Yet another thing that makes this land destroyer look like a warship. To have its bow painted in such colors. Of course, American tank terminology specifically dates back to the days of the Navy, with areas of the tank called bow and stern. And let's see, what else? There's a bunch of naval terminology that's used in tanks, which I find kind of interesting, especially since the idea of the land battleship is so close to my heart. I love those low-ranking monstrosities, and the Centauro sort of hits rewind a little bit and answers the question, what if you had a whole lot of tank, not a lot of armor, and just space upon space upon space to mount whatever massive turret you feel like. Sort of a modern land battleship idea, and thus the term land destroyer. SPC picking his targets carefully, you might say, or maybe you could call him a bully picking on this AA, and yet he is in danger. Chuckles. hull breaks SPAA, puts a heat round into the ammunition of that enemy medium tank, and, as is not always the case, manages to detonate said ammunition. I used to aim for ammo racks back in the day, because that's what I saw Baron von Games doing, and yet my mentor passed on to other things, and so did my aiming style. I tend to go for the gunner, or even better yet, the cannon breech, and then the engine on vehicles these days. But you do what works, and SPC is doing the work here as he immobilizes that American casemate tank destroyer 7.0 Doom Turtle in an 8.0 match. He is not having the best time getting taken down now, as a swarm of owls, the ever-present owls at 8.0 Italy, are there to support him and to provide some festive dancing. Dance the dance of their people, as SPC dances the dance of death and his chonky boy yet nimble Centauro, going full-on Chris Farley urban ninja on these lads. They don't even know what hit them. The good stabilizer on his vehicle, the punchy gun, doing the damage that he needs to do as SPC's reflexes come in for him time and time again, quickly getting on target and taking down his foes. Interesting to see at 8.0 how many people on the enemy team have decided to spawn in an SPAA. Is it their backup spawn? Are they hoping to take down American helicopter spam? Yes, no. The Americans are on the other side, as is often the case when you're playing Italy or Germany. And yet, oh, excuse me, I'm a bit sleepy. Did I mention that I stayed up way too late last night playing tabletop RPG Pathfinder with my friends, including my little brother, who's actually bigger than me, but not fatter. He has a problem digesting food, so he's like really thin, and I have my own like gut issues, but I continue to be, as from the days of my youth, shaped like a single beautiful gorgeous piece of cottage cheese, about the midsection area. Yes, cottage cheese belly. That is my name, and that is my fame. And no shame for those of you that have the same body type as me, but SPC swinging that pimp cane against the enemy team, repeatedly taking down foes and continuing to play an aggressive positioning playstyle here as he darts from one location to another, cutting in and out of the enemy's lanes of advance, going for that side-on flank that is both simple to achieve in these mobile Italian vehicles and rewarding. And yet again, a beautiful shot into enemy ammunition, getting that one shot that he needs. Once more, for no particular reason, I'll mention that one-shotting ammunition is not entirely reliable, and yet the effect when you roll those dice and you get the number you need, when the snail gods are generous with you, is instant destruction of the enemy vehicle. Otherwise, maybe you just turn some ammo orange or black and nothing happens. Except that you get shot back. That's what you call a suboptimal result, and that's the danger of aiming for enemy ammunition. Yet it has paid off well for SPC up to this point. Stalin looking with favor on his favored son. Getting into the history of Stalin's actual real-life son is a little bit interesting. It feels like he never really filled Papa's shoes, and yet Papa's shoes were full of blood, so maybe it's better that he didn't. In any event, SPC here. I keep thinking of SCP, but it's not. It's not that. It's this, a different kind of eldritch horror being wrought upon his enemies as he takes them down one by one shot by one shot, always being in just the right position, ready with his attack to take down the enemy quickly, efficiently, and in terms of an MBT, as quietly as possible. In fact, in terms of War Thunder's current sound mapping in the game, it is quite silent indeed, as you can barely hear engines in this game unless it's an aircraft, and then you can hear it from miles away. Did you hear that enemy tank? Because I didn't, and yet he was there in the smoke, appearing quite easy to notice. A second round heat going into the turret, not taking down the gunner. Now SPC going for a side shot on the turret. The breach is down, and yet the Centauro still a bit cautious to engage this enemy medium tank until he's sure he can take down the rest of the crew. This one confused me a little bit here, just based on the places he was aiming, but keep in mind that SPC has been taking snapshots this entire time and doing fairly well, although he did miss the critical damage he was going to need against that tank. Yet, winning on the reload, he takes him down with a second shot into the crew compartment. Soviet MBTs, as a general rule, having their crew so tightly packed that a single round is often enough to take them down, and that's something that goes all the way back to the T-34 series of tanks. The crew compartment's quite cramped, and modern tanks with their autoloader having one less crew, a Soviet survivability, regardless of other factors, is not so hot. And the interior of that, oh, what is that? A Cent Mark 10 heating up indeed, if you'll pardon the pun, as Heat FS round after Heat FS round slams into the crew compartment, finally with a side shot on the turret, taking down two of the remaining crew to finish off that British medium that has significantly better survivability. You could even call it an MBT at this stage, but potato, potato. Heat FS, one shot. Oh dear, what's coming in here? A bomb bounces off of the vehicle, explodes to no harm, because I guess no armor is best armor, to coin a phrase that I totally came up with on my own. And now SPC, having taken some damage for the first time in this match in his Centauro, still able to survive, and yet in something of a dilly of a pickle as the match winds down to a close. SPC not able to clinch that last kill, but getting an incredible score nonetheless. Congratulations to StalinsPimpCane on a fantastic match in 8.0 Italy Ground Forces, using a couple of very fun, very nimble and hard-hitting vehicles. Thanks for sending in this replay, and for all of you others, I do feature replays, so check the link in the description below. Come on, join the Discord, and send me those replays. Catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. Guppy, say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.